What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're back again today because, as you guys know, it's day 3 of the draft, and we're going to be covering every single pick that the New Orleans Saints make, starting today off with quarterback Ian Book from Notre Dame. Now, I don't love or hate this pick. I do think it was a necessary pick. The New Orleans Saints definitely need another quarterback, but I just don't think that. I think we should have taken a wide receiver here, but as long as we take a wide receiver at some point today, I will be happy with how this draft has turned out. So, Ian Book, quarterback from Notre Dame. We picked him round 4, pick 133. He's 6 foot flat on the dot. I don't know if that rings a bell to you guys, but it should. He's 205 pounds and hasn't been a terrible quarterback throughout his collegiate career. In 2019, Ian Book had 240 completions for 3,034 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. In 2020, he had 228 completions, 2,830 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 3 picks. So there's a pretty sharp decline there with only 12 less completions. Don't exactly know what that was about, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. He wasn't that good in 2020, and that's a big reason his draft stock literally plummeted. Like, oh my God. He was actually projected as a 6th or 7th round pick, even though the New Orleans Saints took him in round 4. Clearly, Sean Payton loves quarterback prospects like this, as we've seen with players like Garrett Grayson and even Tommy Stevens. We will draft quarterbacks that are projects to try to work on. That's just how this team is. So, let's go over some positives and negatives about Ian Book so you guys can go ahead and form a little bit of your own opinion. Go ahead and comment down in the comment section below what you think about this pick. I don't think it was the most necessary thing in the world, but it does have its benefits, which we will go over after the positives and negatives. So, positives. He's very efficient, and he is an accurate timing passer who is best in short and intermediate field. So any kind of West Coast offense where you're going to focus more on short passes, moving pockets, that's the type of offense that Ian Book will fit into the most. He's very efficient, and his timing is good. He can close those tight windows, so he has a good bit of quarterback IQ, and that is one of the biggest reasons he is even in the NFL draft at all. Another good thing about Ian Book is he's very patient. He remains poised under the rush and steps up to avoid defenders, which is a very, very, very good trait to have as a quarterback, especially when you're undersized, keeping his eyes downfield. Another positive, he stays with the action. He does not go down without a fight. He has the heart of a lion, and he improvises in order to make plays. If you go ahead and watch Ian Book's tape, you can see multiple points where he was just doing a Patrick Mahomes, flip the ball out 5 yards in front of me and let the running back take it 15 yards upfield. He does that a lot. He is an improvised player at many points in time. And when the play seems like it's over, Ian Book might surprise you. That's a really, really, really good trait to have right there as well. The dude does not go down, and that's something that we need, even though he won't be a starting quarterback next year on our roster, period. Another thing that's good about him, he displays terrific field vision. He does not force throws. This is huge. Forcing throws is one of the most annoying things ever, and as we've seen with quarterbacks like Jameis Winston, forcing throws can make a great quarterback turn into something that is so extremely mediocre. So, not forcing throws is huge. He protects the ball as well. He does not throw a lot of interceptions. Like I said, only 9 interceptions in those 2 years, 2019 and 2020, but he also had 49 touchdowns. So 49 touchdowns to 9 interceptions over those last 2 years. Not over some of his negatives. So the first negative that everybody's going to say, I don't really agree with this being a huge negative. We've seen quarterbacks succeed with this negative in the past, i.e. Drew Brees and Russell Wilson. He's short, and he lacks pocket stature. We heard this so many times about Drew Brees, so many times about Russell Wilson. Height does not really matter that much. Of course, it's going to have its moments, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not a reason for somebody's draft stock to fall as much as Ian Book's did. The main killer for Ian Book, and the main reason he was drafted in the 4th round and he was projected to go in round 6 or 7, is the fact that he cannot drive deep throws. He can't do it. He has a very, very, very lacking arm, and it's extremely obvious. He cannot throw the deep ball. That's something that can 100% be worked on, and giving him a few years to sit in the system and sit behind Jameis Winston, Maybe Taysom Hill, depending on how things go with him. Trevor Siemian's also going to be fighting for a roster spot. He can't drive deep throws. That's something that will have to be worked on. Another thing, he shows hesitation in his game and is late pulling the trigger. So as I said before, he doesn't force throws. He's also overly cautious. And you need to find that happy medium if you want to be a successful quarterback in the NFL, where you'll throw a pass, but it's not a dangerous pass. You know what I mean? But you're not overly cautious and trying to make sure that what you do isn't picked off. He is very hesitation. He shows hesitation, and he is late pulling the trigger multiple times a game. And that's something that we do not need. Taysom Hill literally made me want to shoot myself with that same exact trait last year, and I was hounding him for it. Hesitation is not good as an NFL quarterback. So, what does this mean? What is this pick for? Why did the New Orleans Saints go quarterback in round 4? Well, the biggest reason for me that I believe is to unlock the full potential of Taysom Hill. We already know Taysom Hill probably will not be the starting quarterback this year. The Saints seem to be favoring Jameis Winston. Of course, this is pending camp battles. We don't know yet. We're still going to have to go to training camp and see how that plays out. But if Jameis Winston does win the starting job, Taysom Hill will not be able to play tight end, to play wide receiver, to play running back on occasion. He won't be able to do that kind of stuff if he's the second quarterback on the roster, if he's the one that has to go out there if Jameis Winston gets hurt. So having a third quarterback like Ian Book, who's better in my opinion probably than Trevor Siemian, because Trevor Siemian is straight up dog shit, having Ian Book able to go out there if need be unlocks the full potential of Taysom Hill, and it's probably a really big reason that the New Orleans Saints went and grabbed a quarterback in the draft. That right there, I think, is the biggest thing for Ian Book. So, is he going to compete for a starting job? I mean, sure. Anybody on the Saints roster that's trying to go into this season as a quarterback is going to have an opportunity. The New Orleans Saints are an equal opportunity employer, as they say, and they're going to give everybody a fair shake at snatching this starting job. It adds a good bit of competition to the camp, and I'm interested to see if Ian Book can become one of those wild late-round success stories like Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady even. We're definitely going to see a lot of development from this kid, and I'm really hoping maybe one day he can be a Drew Brees-esque player with that short stature and that intermediate to short pass arm. If he develops a deep ball, he might have a little bit of a serious consideration as a starting quarterback here in the NFL. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We're going to have a few more videos coming out today as the Saints do have 2 more draft picks. I hope to see you guys there, and thank you again for watching, and I will see you boys in the next one. Adios. Go ahead and leave down in the comment section below what you think about the Ian Book pick. I know most Saints fans hate it, but it has its place. It's a bit of a necessity. The New Orleans Saints needed a quarterback. Peace out.